9 mistakes med influencers caring for all of our healthcare workers with education and entertainment are making in 2025, heading into 2026. Not being preoccupied with the needs and desires of his children. So, not being focused on what's going on in history, current events, right? We already know healthcare workers are overwhelmed. What are the actual events that are happening? There's a lot going on in government that affects the community. So, what are the top 5 things that are affecting the healthcare workers today? It would be a grave error to overlook listening to the audience and understanding exactly what they are going through, whether it's engaging, right, in DMs rather than just posting your own content and analyzing who's actually following, analyzing who's actually contributing to your channel. And it's not only that you are contributing to your own healthcare career, but believe it or not, and better or worse, you're contributing to the healthcare of many medical workers, more so than the wellness retreats that their corporations or their organizations are providing them. You're providing the entertainment, right, that these individuals rely on in their pocket every day. It's a mini retreat, them logging in and getting reprieve from someone they honor with their time, that they trust, believe it or not, with their time. Hopefully you started monetizing. If not, send us a message. You need to start monetizing. How are we doing that with your income structure? How are we doing that to prevent your own burnout as a medical influencer? How are we structuring this to optimize your time, right? And your audience's time? That's definitely an issue if we're not preoccupied with the desires and the obstacles our audience is facing. Staggering statistics here. 2026, there will be a shortage of over 4 million healthcare workers. 30% of the healthcare population of workers are considering leaving the field in the next 2 years. So, those that do remain will be on social media. They will be looking to join a platform to become influencers themselves, right? Because they do need a voice. They do need a platform to express how they're feeling. And that's exactly how things have gone so far. So the pressure is intense for healthcare workers. There are over 14 million people working in the healthcare industry right now, and it's about 10% of the US population. By 2033, there will be a shortage of over 124,000 physician providers. So, what are we telling our audience? What are we telling our audience about transformation? Offering this framework, right, to be implemented for yourself, who is likely a med influencer overwhelmed, and one to offer to your audience. COUNT, count. We count the minutes in our day, right? Whether it's to go home or the minutes that we have left, because you only have one life. You only have one life to live. So COUNT. C is community. When you're feeling overwhelmed as a med influencer and your responsibility is so deep, over 2/3 of all Gen Zers and over 2/3 of all millennials listen and are influenced by what you have to say. And you work hard at your platform, and it's important you monetize that. So be sure to reach out to us if you're not monetizing yet, if you're overwhelmed. Logistics really need to be handled and streamlining as well. So the C, community, how do they see you, right? If you're trying to go from overwhelmed to strategized, building a scalable business, an asset from that, how do they see you? It's important to get aligned with that, right? It's important to create a foundation, to have a foundation there. Do they see you as the doctor? Do they see you as the entertainment, right? Nurse Blake, we love that. Do they see you as the mom, right? Do they see you as the entrepreneur, the woman entrepreneur that's starting on her journey, right? Getting grounded on how they see you is important. Analyzing the audience, right? Analyzing the engagement to really see who's engaging. What are your most engaged posts? What are your most popular posts, right? That's most important. How are they seeing you? So if you're going from overwhelmed to streamlining, what is their belief about you? What is their stance? What is their viewpoint? Oh, opportunity. Social media is an opportunity to monetize. Yes, it's an expression and creative. I'm a creative, and we love that it's artistry that we have. We love that it's tips and tricks and, dancing and everything. But the opportunity there are levels of opportunity when it comes to being a med influencer. The opportunity just for engagement, right? Levity, comedy, education, just sharing what's going on, right? But I bet if you have been online for more than 2 years, likely the idea is to monetize, or you've attempted to monetize, right? So the opportunity there is also monetization. And ultimately, partnering with someone, with a coach, with a tour manager, some sort of creator that strategizes and creates your strategy and planning to curate a cruise, for example, where the split is 50-50, right? Someone who takes over those logistics is going to be vital for that opportunity. So, what opportunity is there? That's most important when it comes to going from overwhelmed to having a scalable business as a med influencer. What opportunity are you actually looking for? Do you want to continuously create content, which if you're here, you're probably a little overwhelmed, right? So what are you actually going after? What do those numbers look like? What's your timeline look like for wanting to exit? So social media, the opportunity is to have a scalable business. If you're not doing that, send us a DM. It's not okay that you're overwhelmed. It's not okay that the asset you spent years and countless amount of time and probably money developing would just be wasted just due to overwhelm. That's not okay. It's not okay that you don't know your next step. It's not okay that this isn't a platform used as your product later on. It's not okay. So we give you action steps, precise action steps to prevent the overwhelm. You deserve that. You deserve that. You put so much time and effort into your product, which is your social media account, and it supports countless, how many healthcare workers. Again, 60% of millennials are influenced by med influencers. Again, 60% of Gen Zers are influenced and supported, and you are the burnout prevention, where they're no longer relying on organizations, the retreats. They're no longer relying on their corporations to provide them the benefits that actually help them feel better. They're looking for education. They're looking for entertainment, and that's exactly what you provide. So identifying the opportunity there. You is understanding. If you're going from overwhelmed, med influencer, to monetized and have a scalable business, understanding who you are at this point is going to be very, very important. Introvert, extrovert, Myers-Briggs. Are we leaning on who you actually are? Are we leaning on who God built you to be? Are we being in clarity with that? Like, we are in Mercury retrograde as it is, and the full moon is coming, right? I just got off the phone with one of my consultants, and it's all about clarity at this point. If you're hiding something, if you're not shedding, right? It's the year of the snake, 9/20/25. If you're not shedding who you were and living your true light, it's going to be a problem in 2026. So understanding who you are, not being afraid to share who you are, not shrinking. That's the most important thing. Do not decline your light. Do not decrease your light. Do not decrease your wattage. Do not shrink when it comes to sharing and being a med influencer. Shine bright. Do not shrink. Be on full wattage. Be the person you needed 5 years ago, because now's the time. The med workers, they need all the support they can muster at this point. So understanding who you are, understanding how you're holding yourself back from creating, from monetizing, most important right now. Most important right now. Something else with understanding your strengths and weaknesses. How are you supporting your team? At this point, are you managing your social media by yourself? Is that something you enjoy doing? Can your time be used somewhere else? Are you great with managing your team if you have a team already? Do you have an assistant that can coordinate your team, your video editors, your audio editors, etc., your coordinators, your email maintenance team, your DM maintenance team? Do you feel good maintaining all of that by yourself? Or if you have a team, are you managing properly, or do you have constant turnover? Do you have someone reviewing your finances on a weekly basis? There's a book, one of my favorite books. What's the name of it? Not Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which is fantastic. Not The Psychology of Money, which is also fantastic. It is called Millionaire Next Door. Millionaires Next Door have a review of their finances more often than those who are not millionaires. If you are not reviewing your finances, your balance sheet, your balance and profits sheet, meaning how much asset you have versus liabilities, which is like loans, right? Assets are things that a bank would see as valuable, versus revenue and expenses. If that's not being reviewed on a weekly basis, financial stability and growth is likely going to happen a lot slower. Obviously, attention goes where energy flows, right? If you're not aware of it, it's not going to be optimized. If you're not aware of KPIs, it's not going to be optimized. So when it comes to being a med influencer, if you're overwhelmed, you're likely not reviewing as you should. So understanding, are you someone who reviews your finances on a weekly basis, personal and professional? And that includes the account, that includes your investments that you're making. And are you developing the assets? If you're not, contact us, because the asset is what is needed to have a scalable business as a med influencer. And we do not create a business that's overwhelming, right? That's not the key. We do not create a business that's going to be a sink tank of money and expenses. We do not do that. We create scalable businesses, and that means serving the community. That means serving your community. Having a creative power, that means being preoccupied with the desires of those within your market, within your following. So understanding, that's huge. And then networking. Networking in this regard with med influencers, who are you looking to as a model, right? In terms of, for example, for me, I'm a dentist, and I'm also a business consultant with an MBA. So business in general, scalable businesses that we start from zero and we sell, that's really my goal as a professional. In my professional life, that is the end goal. And so applying that to being a med influencer, right, and going from overwhelmed to well-respected and having a scalable business that you sell, right, monetize, having revenue, and not being overwhelmed with that, but owning the system, owning that rather than working in, right? E-Myth, we love that book. One book I was reading was Dental Entrepreneur, and Dr. Lanier, Black dentist out of North Carolina, his parents and grandparents, I believe, were sharecroppers, and he grew a DSO, a dental support organization, up to 14 offices, and he sold, and he vacations regularly, has plenty of time to spend with family and friends, and travels to luxury vacations. He does monitor his spending, I'm quite sure. But the idea is you want to network with those who have done what you want to do. So if you're here, you want to scale your med influencer business, right? And it's valuable to reflect on literature, even if you don't have anyone in your sphere that you can go to and network. Reflect on business literature. In his case, he talks about the principles needed to create a scalable business. And these are mentioned everywhere. I'm sure, anywhere. For me, it's important to see it from a dental perspective. So having a product, having a niche, and you've already done this, but also understanding it's about systems and it's about hiring the professionals that support you and you've worked with for years, right? Firing the snags in the system, right? Who are you networking with to give you insight into what your platform should be, how it should be monetized, how it should look, all the events that they've created, right? All the managers they've hired in order to streamline that monetization process. Who are you networking with to be your behavioral mentor? What does their day to day look like? Have they gotten through that hump of overwhelm? If so, what did they have to let go of? Year of the snake, we will be letting go of a lot of things. The year of the snake. So, not necessarily, and ideally, you would have someone in your sphere that is at a level of monetization that you would desire and that you truly want. But if you don't, all the business principles still apply. All the business principles still apply. And it can be very overwhelming. Business principles, I mean, Hormozi is out there, Layla is out there. They're fantastic. They are fantastic and so flippin' detailed. It's so juicy and so applicable. But choose your method of reflection and for mentoring. Medical workers tend to love the details. And at this point, you probably understand that productivity does not equal activity. And so reading a lot of things isn't going to get you anywhere. It's really about having conversations with those who have what you want, moving forward, telling them your pain points, figuring out solutions, hearing the proposals, and moving forward with action, precise action steps. Lastly, training. It's the same. Healthcare workers, you go through training. Med influencers, you go through training. Keep your body fit, right? It does take some work to create assets online. If you're transitioning to events, right? Reach out to us. We have an event package to take all the logistics out of the way to be sure that you earn income and you don't earn more work in creating more income. Who are you looking to that's already done that? What does the training look like? What growth will you be going through to transition from gaining followers, creating content, to monetizing, having events, serving your community of healthcare workers more to combat all this burnout that's here to a higher level. We know that just seeing your face, it combats burnout. It creates serotonin. It creates dopamine. You're already helping the healthcare workers. There's over 4 million healthcare workers, and every day you are helping them prevent burnout. Every day you're helping them engage and show up for their families more so than their organizations do, which is incredible. So understand that in your transition to just creating content to monetization, there will be skills that need to be acquired, right? Trusting a manager with that if you're going to events. And of course, reach out to us because, again, we develop events for med influencers specifically to serve the healthcare worker population, to have education, entertainment events to ensure that their families are supported, to ensure they go back to work healthy. Because in 1 year, next year, over 200,000 providers will reconsider healthcare as a profession. So there's always turnover, and you are the joy. You are the joy. So those are the points, and we're excited to chat with you, to serve your users, your followers more. And it's really about changing the world, and you guys are the ones doing it. So let us know. We also have the daily affirmation motivation for healthcare workers, for med influencers, for you. just to help you in the morning, help you in the evening to calm down. It's a reflection on what to avoid, right? Of course, when it comes to our healthcare careers, but also things to inspire the people around you, to inspire your family, and how not to get tripped up by all the craziness. And we'll chat soon.